Good morning, Coach. You played pretty well at Texas Tech. Does that help your young team with maybe some confidence going into this game?
I hope so. We showed two different sections of the game yesterday to our guys, where we had pretty good runs. We were up 17-10 early, and actually had a layup, a tip in, and Nigel had a wide open three. We could have pushed it into the 20s, and then we had another. Then they took the lead. They had their run, and then we came back and took the lead again before half. And then they had a good finish to the half, which gave them the lead. They stretched it out into double digits, but again, we cut it. Surrey had the layup, and we had the unfortunate couple little technical fouls, some learning lessons. In that one stretch where we made the run, you take those free throws away, and you're probably in a 5-point game. That, and we lost 2 times. We lost guys on out of bounds plays, and those were 5 points. So, I hope it does. Our guys did a great job of kind of reading their defense, making the extra pass, kind of playing off of their principles. We'll see if we can do it again. There's no doubt, though, that just like the Kansas game, that we get to those gut check parts of games, and we have to have some toughness. We have to, the box out, second chance points. Texas Tech got us on a couple. Obviously, Kansas did the other. And those are backbreakers, and then teams get a couple of those easy ones, or get to the free throw line, and then, they hit a three. Now you have a, 7-0 run. And then we just don't have the experience, the go-to guys that can get us back in the game, constantly like that. So I think toughness, the rebounding is going to be, and playing strong against them is going to be a big key.
You mentioned it briefly there, but were there some particular things you guys did better in that game than maybe you've done in other games, or was it just a situation of you made some shots and it built some confidence?
Had a really good first half, and that's before Nigel. That was the last game before Nigel missed 4. So we were starting to get in a little bit of I hope a little bit of a groove, a continuity, some rhythm, and then obviously losing Nigel, and we had some other situation, other guys out, injuries, things like that. We, kind of lost our that rhythm again, and you hope, you hope now. And again, we don't have Dejuan, but you hope we can get a little continuity. I think we passed the ball well. We made a few shots. Every team's different. That's the really unique part of our conference. Everyone has a different style and defends differently. And, so part of your dilemma as a young team, that you have to learn that you just can't play the same way every time. You have to adjust to what they give you and make the most of it. And that game in particular, we were pretty good. Now hope we can do it tomorrow night again.
Do you have an update on Dejuan and maybe a timetable?
I think it's going to be more, I think now it's where he ran in the pool yesterday. He still had some pain. He's still using the crutches to, give him some support. He's going to need a good 2 or 3 good days. I'm hoping by next Monday, maybe you get him back on the court. And again, I'm just stretching that out, to be honest. I guess that's my hope and dream for him. And again, we're not going to force the issue. He's got to get that foot healthy. We don't want him to, be a long, prolonged injury because we forced him to get back.
And one final thing, Nigel Pack has the big game, and then he goes to KU, and he faces one of the best defenders in college basketball. How did he handle that, and how good of an experience is that for him to see that kind of defense?
Well, it's funny, and I mentioned this to Wyatt last night on the radio. Davion came up to me after the game because our first 3 possessions, we just, we didn't execute. We didn't, we didn't. Guys weren't in the right spots, and I and we talked about it. At halftime, we talked about it after the game, and Davion just came up to me and said, "Coach, I'm sorry. I was nervous, that I didn't do what I was supposed to, and he's a good young man. He's got a big heart. And then I talked to Nigel the next day, and I said, I thought you looked a little worn out, tired. And he said, Coach, and we had told them they're going to lock in on you. You had the big game. They're going to make other people, they're going to scout you. They're going to make other people make plays. We actually put a couple counters in where maybe he would screen and maybe we get a couple of easy ones, which we didn't execute. But, and then it's surprising. I said, I just kind of kept talking to me, and he said, Coach, it probably was the, second game where I was really nervous, the first game of the year, and then this one. And I just kind of, it hit me, and we talked about it. I talked with Shane about it, and, it's a big game. It's obviously to play Kansas for the rivalry. I just told our guys it was a great opportunity for us to do something that guys, hasn't been done in a long time there, and win. And I wasn't doing that for pressure. I was doing that for more opportunity. But I think the little bit of nervousness, and they locked in on him. But even Stan and I looked at the number. White and I looked at the numbers last night, and he's still 2 for 5 from 3. I think 4 for 10. He had 4 turnovers, and that's what was, not what he does. And I think they got him out of rhythm a little bit. He forced action a little bit. And again, I just told him, you got to be under control. You got to take what the defense gives you. He missed Davion for a couple dunks because they just said, we're going to blitz him. And, again, I think he just got a little out of rhythm, and hopefully a learning thing, and he'll be better the next time.
Sorry, one more thing. You mentioned Nigel kind of locked in on and still did a pretty good job despite the turnovers. You've got some young guys that do things maybe outside of their skill set or things that other than they should be doing. And Mike tends to force it because I think he feels the pressure to do something. But Nigel and maybe Davion seem to have a pretty good grip on what they can and can't do. And how important is that for other guys to learn that?
It's huge. Part of having good teams is understanding your roles and executing your roles and doing what you do. Now, it's that fine line with players that you don't want to take away their game and ruin their their excitement and spirit for the game. But at the same time, they got to accept what they are. And when you get teams that understand their roles, understand what they can do, obviously it helps. There's no doubt. And, it's just, that again, it's part of the learning process. A guy like Selton, things I told him last year when I was watching him and we recruited him and talked with him. I told him into the summer, but he had the experience that, hey, I can do these things, but I got to add this to my game. Now he knows, the problem is right now you just can't add those things, and you got to accept what you are and do those things. And, even Selton, the other night, 6 rebounds, and we've been on him about rebounding. And, just, again, there's things you can do. You don't always have to score. You don't always have to try to make plays. You can let those come and let the game happen. And if you can do those, it's going to help them and it's going to help us.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next question to Kellis Robinette.
Hey, Bruce, we've tried asking Mike a few times now how he's holding up during the season. He almost seems annoyed that we're even going there. But from your point of view, how has he stayed so positive as a senior leader when things aren't going right on the court?
Well, I think deep down it's hurting him, and I think that's why he's had a little bit of the last few, I shouldn't say the last few. Obviously, the last game he had some fumbles and stuff, and he wants to do well, and he keeps, we try to help him. We try to be positive with him. I just saw him. He was in here shooting this morning after testing. He wants to be successful, and so I'm sure deep down it's hurting, but he also knows he has to step up and help us and be successful. I think what Tim just asked, and we've tried to even convey to him, let it come. You don't always have to force it. Be poised, be on pace. Let the game come to you, and then you're a much better player. Obviously, it helps with Nigel in there for him. If we could get somebody else he could play off of it. Obviously, it would help. It would help him and ease the pressure.
Has he done a good job setting an example, being a veteran leader in practice, though?
Yeah, like I said, he was here this morning at shooting, and he's always one of the first ones here. One of the last ones to leave. And he's told you guys, he's not a vocal guy. Rodney Magruder wasn't a vocal guy until the other night, I guess. But you can lead in different ways, and we just need from him consistency, and really from all the guys. If we're going to do anything here down the stretch, we got to get some continuity, and we got to get some consistency from people that we know what they're going to get. And then when we get the gut check parts of the game, we got to do the little toughness things that make a difference.
All right. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate you sliding over also so we can see Dean and Rodney today in the background. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Yep.
Next question to Arnie Green.
Sorry. Back to Mike. When we talked to him, he's also talked about keeping things in perspective during this losing streak. He talks a lot about being blessed to be able to even play. Is that something that you like having him convey to the rest of the team, or would you rather have him be, I guess, a little more assertive? And
well, I think he's obviously trying to say the right things to you guys, and which is, hopefully he's had some good training. You say something to you guys, and then now you're going to take it, and then it's going to be spun a different way, and then social media is going to pick it up, and then he's going to look bad, and we're going to look bad. So I think he's saying the right things. I know it means a lot to him. I would like him to be a little more vocal. I would like him to play a little better pace and let the game come to him. And I hope he can find some peace here down the stretch. And when he walked out this morning, when I saw him, I just said, you can't tell with the mask. And, I said, do you have a smile? And I want him to have a smile. I want him to enjoy it. It is, we've talked about it a lot. It is a privilege to play basketball at this level, to play for K-State. And I think he deep down really appreciates that, which I hope people appreciate, that he thinks it is a privilege and an honor to be here and be part of this. And, one of our goals was to get through the season and play games. And it looks like we're going to, right now, and again, Baylor just had another setback, part of his leadership is to make sure that we do that. And the guys have the discipline and on and off the court to make sure we're playing games. And the results have not been what we want by no means, but we are there and working. The guys are competing every day. That's all I can ask.